And welcome back to Cigar Time, your friendly neighborhood TV show all about premium cigars.
You know, people must think you are the happiest person on earth because you're cracking up at the start of every show.
That's good.
If they only really knew you.
That's
You mean he never cracks up the rest of the time?
Yeah. That's because you wait until the very last second
To say something
to say
funny.
something funny.
Sometimes. Sometimes it just happens.
So welcome back, everyone. Thank
you
you.
got him so used to cracking a joke that he just waits and waits and
Yeah.
waits and starts laughing because you.
Yeah, basically.
It's like
Yeah,
Steve
I-
Buscemi. I just look at him and start laughing. My friend had lunch with him once.
Did he laugh?
I did not.
No, I mean, did your friend?
Me,
you.
yeah.
You didn't laugh.
I didn't laugh. Because he's all business. He's a great guy. Awesome guy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I just
Very
picture
much
him riding the rocket. Well, in the movie. You know what I mean?
Armageddon.
I had to clarify that.
Yeah.
Riding the
I
rocket.
don't want to get that mixed up with my fantasies.
Yeah,
Cut!
Yeah. Every time I think of that, I think of Slim Pickens also.
Yes.
Riding the
Well, that's what it
bomb.
was. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Very funny. Anyway, Paul, what are we smoking today?
We are smoking something from DBL.
Stands for Dominican Big Leaguer.
Yes, it does, and that's a brand owned by Francisco Almonte, who used to be at La Flor and left La Flor to start up DBL. It's been around for a few years now.
Yeah, about 10 maybe.
Yeah, I would guess around 10.
At least 10.
This particular cigar is the DBL Extra Viejo, which means more aged or more old.
Well, the carpet
Extra
matches the
old.
drapes in that the aroma matches the flavor.
Yeah, this has a very hickory smelling.
Very
Foot.
distinct, strong hickory
Yeah,
aroma.
very hickory.
And it's not just the foot, it's the whole length
Is
of
it?
the cigar.
Oh, really? I didn't do that.
Yeah. Wow. And it says
This is one you probably could smell right through the cellophane.
And you taste it on the dry draw.
double pressed.
Yeah, what that means is, it's an interesting thing. Normally, on a box press cigar, they create the bunch, they stick it in the mold, it's a square mold, they do that routine, and then they finish it. This way, they do that, then they put the wrapper on and put it back in the press.
Okay.
I have 20 years, let's just round out 20 years been doing this. I've never seen a square mold, ever.
No, me neither.
Nowhere. Other, if you want to, unless you count the factory press, which is probably just aesthetics to sell a cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
not
I've
an actual
Never
mold.
seen a square.
Yeah.
Matter of
Oh,
fact,
I've seen them.
I wouldn't. I always. I guess I always assumed the cigar the mold was round. They made the cigar and then they put it in a square, something that was square.
Like a box?
Well,
yeah.
Originally,
that's what it was.
they did.
just
and
put it in the
that's why
box
it
so
was called
tight that it would.
Yeah, the cigars
square.
were a little wet, so you could squeeze them tight in the box.
Right.
And then age them in the box, and
Right.
they'd be square.
Right.
They started using square molds in the late 90s when box press cigars suddenly became a big thing again.
Never seen one.
Initially led by Nick.
Those if you left it out if you leave it out on the table like that, will not become round again. The other ones, the original ones, would become round again.
Once you take them out of the box, if they rest a little bit in your humidor, they round out.
Right.
Ones that are made in a square mold will not.
Yeah.
This will be part of my Cigar Olympic event I'm going to do. How like we can stack the most box press cigars? How high?
That's a fun event.
Well, I
What
was
did you
thinking
call
about
that?
doing
Cigar Olympics?
Cigar Olympics. Who can like smoke a cigar the fastest? Who can smoke it the slowest? Who can? There's a couple of others like the longest dash. Who can? Now I just came up. I'd love to figure out cigar box Jenga. I would love to figure out how to do that. I can't find the right boxes. And now I just added who can stack a box press cigar the highest.
I like that. So the blend on this cigar is actually really interesting. It's unusual. The wrapper is Mexican, but it's not a San Andres Negro tobacco. It's actually a Brazilian Arapiraca seed grown in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. So
Interesting.
It's Mexican Arapiraca. The binder is Dominican, and the filler is Dominican and Brazilian again. So it's different.
Now we've had the Extra Viejo before. Is this the same one,
Briefly
or is it
about-
just different packaging?
It's packaged in those humidors now.
I
It's a
don't-
box that looks like a humidor.
I don't
No,
remember.
these came in regular boxes. They used to be packed in a box that was a humidor.
It's still not a regular box.
The ones in Colmar are.
You want me to go get one? While we're on
From
the
Colmar.
No.
Yeah, I've got
Not
one from Colmar.
I'd get one from
Well, I'm
here.
telling you from Colmar. Well, maybe it was a little. It looked like a little, like grayish brown cardboard box.
I don't remember it having that such a strong hickory smell.
I don't either.
No.
The last time it came through, maybe the tobacco's even older now.
Maybe they reblended it. I don't know. I have to ask Francisco if he can pry himself away from the women that
Rolling the
hang
bench.
on him all the time.
You know, he has a store right over in Jersey, right?
Does he? I did not know.
I think his brother owns it.
His brother, yeah. But it's called Francisco. Wait,
Don Francisco's is not Francisco Almonte.
no. It's I forget that now. I can't think of the name of it. But yeah, he has one. Just a friend of mine was there, and he was texting me, and I'm like, "Oh, you're at Francisco's place." He goes, "Who the hell is that?" I go, "You see that guy in the poster in the background? Yeah,
Francisco."
that's Francisco." And then Francisco walked in.
He may be the friendliest person in the cigar industry.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Up there
At
with
least
Ricky.
Ricky Rodriguez, yeah.
Just easygoing,
Speedy.
pleasant, smart, knows his stuff.
He looks like Speedy Gonzalez. Because he wears the hat.
I saw no Speedy Racer.
No. This does not have a hickory taste, though.
No.
No, it's all in the aroma, the hickory.
Wow.
Well, in a way, it makes sense because let's say you put something in it. Let's say you wanted to make a cigar that had cinnamon flavors. I think we've talked about this before, and you say, "All right, I'll put cinnamon in the cigar." But the way cinnamon burns
Is
is
not
not
the
going to
way-
taste the way.
Cinnamon taste.
Yeah, and when I say cinnamon, I'm thinking like the red hots for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most part.
No, you can't just put something in a cigar and have the cigar taste like that.
No,
Because you're burning it.
Right.
and it's going to be different. I think we're pretty sure we talked about this. Moose, you said something about it that made a lot of sense. Because I'm so old, I can't remember what it was. But whatever you said really made sense about that.
I'm so old I can't remember what I said.
All right.
And I'm
Cigars-
so old I have no clue what either of you are talking about.
Cigars, they just don't taste like they smell. Like, even if, like, we were sitting...
Pipes are like that too, though.
That's true. Pipes are like that, right.
They when people smoke them, it smells fantastic,
Right.
And it smells like what you would hope it would be, but
But it
when you
doesn't-
smoke it,
It just
It
doesn't
tastes
taste like it. Yeah,
it
totally
smells
different.
for some reason.
Do it all the time.
It's National Italian Day. Is it
It
Columbus
must
Day?
be. It's not.
Not Columbus Day.
Yeah, it's weird because if there's one person smoking, you can really smell that cigar. Not like when all of us are smoking, you can't smell it. But then you take, oh, it's a great cigar. Because you like the smell. Let me try it. But when you smoke it, it tastes nothing like it.
You know, that's a topic we should look at for the future, like specific cigars that have distinctive aromas and very different flavors.
The reason I thought of it was because I had a friend of mine who was smoking an Excalibur Cameroon. Like this was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, so he was smoking. I'm like, man, that smells really, really good. So I got one and I smoked it. I'm like, man, this doesn't taste anything like it smells. It was a good cigar because it's a Cameroon, because I love Cameroon.
Of course.
But it's also Honduran because it's made by General in their Honduran factory.
You know what cigar used to do that was the 150 and the 160.
The
The
Partagas?
Partagas, yeah. You could, I mean, as soon as somebody lit that cedar aroma, you could You could, and that was Cameron also, right?
Yeah.
And you could smell that across the room. There were especially ones that came in, and I don't remember if this was the 150 or I think it was the 160 because they came in a tube, and another one came in a coffin. But those two, I mean, as soon as somebody lit it, people would be like, "What are you smoking?" I wish we could get those.
They're
Do you
too
have any of
old.
the 150s anymore?
They're too old. I wouldn't smoke those cigars.
Yeah, you would. Somebody gave you one, you would smoke it.
No, I would turn
You would
it.
smoke it.
I would change it. I would trade with somebody for 2 other cigars.
Okay, I'll bring one in.
Okay.
And I remember when Partagas 150s cost about $20 a piece. And that was considered
That's
a
cheap.
ridiculous price back then.
But 20.
Oh, now?
No.
They're
Depending
over
on
100.
depending on the size. I remember those big chests that we used to have. The ones they came in. The big chests.
original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were more than $20 a piece because I sold 8 of them and it came to $236 for 8 cigars. That's ridiculous.
They were fantastic. I have somebody gave me one of the Ramona Ramones.
The Ramon Ramones was better than the 150.
I can't smoke that. How can I smoke that?
You still have, how many you have left?
Somebody gave me one. I can't smoke it.
Well, you have to smoke it eventually.
No, I don't.
Because then it won't taste the
Well,
same.
what are cigars
yeah.
for if not to smoke them?
Collecting.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
No, it's not.
It's the
It's right
dumbest
up there
thing
for
ever.
sure.
It's not
If you
called-
have a
lots of
cigar,
it's-
why
Scott,
wouldn't you smoke
I
it?
like
It's
collecting
not
them.
called collecting.
Well, what are you going to do? So you
What's
have
it
it.
called?
Okay, you have
Aging.
it. If you, the longer you keep it,
Aging
the
is
more
when
it's
you let
not
it
going to
get
taste the
older
way
so
you
can
remember.
smoke it. Collecting, you never intend to
but
smoke
You
it.
live your
Right.
life.
When
I'm
you
going to
age
live
it,
my
Oh
life.
my
You
God,
say
that's
it's
the
not
dumbest
ready
thing ever.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
Good point.
it's not the dumbest
It's
thing.
forever not ready yet.
Exactly.
It might be dumb to you, but I collect stuff.
And Doc gives you.
Do you want to buy my box of LEO 7s?
No, I already have one.
I got a whole box of them. I don't know what to do with them.
I'll take them
Smoke
off
'em.
your hands if you don't want them.
Throw them in the fire pit.
You don't like it?
They're going to be too mild now. They were mild back then in 07.
I think cigars, when you age them, I think they get more of a tangy, sour kind of flavor.
Well,
Unless all these aged cigars that I've had got moldy or something, but I don't necessarily like how all of them turn out.
Aging a cigar changes it a lot.
yeah.
It won't make a bad cigar good,
That's true.
and it might change a good cigar in the short term in ways that you don't like, but over the long term of aging, chances are it's going to come back to a place that you like a lot.
What's the longest you should actually age a cigar?
It
According to
According to who?
conventional wisdom.
Yeah,
Min
it's
Romney or somebody else.
it's not like wine, because wine gets better and you can keep that for a long time.
Well, in
But eventually it will turn to vinegar. So.
in fairly low humidity, like low 60s, high 50s, and fairly low temperature, you can age cigars for decades. And they won't turn sour, they won't spoil, they won't decompose. They will just keep getting better and better. But if you let them be warm, or if you let the humidity get too high, they go from aging to decomposing fairly quickly. So you're talking about a couple of years max
Couple of years.
on a finished cigar.
But I've had stuff that's like 15 years, and it's just like you expect, and it's just like, again, it has that, I want to say sour, tangy, but it's this note on all of them that I just don't get it.
Typically, cigars that are not super oily do not age up very well. The more oil there is in the cigar, the better it ages.
Well, how can you tell that just by looking at it
Well,
for the viewers?
Well, you can tell by looking at the wrapper primarily.
That's just
If
the
you
wrapper.
see
That's
it-
not the rest of the.
Yeah, it's-
That's true, but it tells you something about how the rest of the cigar is going to be.
Because was it 99% of the flavor comes from the wrapper?
Give me a break. Are we going to have that discussion again?
Sure.
No.
Well, we'll be wrong again. That's fine by me.
Okay.
2 different people put this band on. One's going one way, one's going the other. That's odd.
Do we want to do some initial
Oh, yeah.
impressions?
Let's do our
Since
first.
we're halfway through the show.
Oh yeah! Holy crap, Moose, what's your first impression?
Other than the box press, because I'm not a fan of box pressed, it's a good cigar. I'm enjoying it. It's got good flavors. I too get the hickory a little bit, like there's something else I can't quite put my finger on that I'm getting that I can't describe yet. But it's really good. It's well made, burns nice, puts out a lot of good smoke.
Paul?
I wouldn't exactly say hickory, but I get a smoky, almost
Yes.
barbecue-y
Yeah,
kind of
smoke,
flavor.
smoky is the word I was going to use. Yeah.
But I also get a little bit of sweetness underneath that I taste as cherry. But that's, that might just be me. But I taste like a cherry sweetness without the tartness. It's not a sour cherry, a regular
Right.
cherry.
What's your name, Scott?
I'm getting the smokiness you mentioned. I didn't really get it until somebody mentioned it. I got a sweetness up front, and it was actually exactly when you were talking about the wrapper, and it was the first couple of puffs.
99% of that was from the wrapper.
What would you guys go on a strength scale though? Because I expected this to be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
It looks like it would be, but it's really not.
Yeah.
it's like
Maybe a
Three
two.
at three
Two,
at
two and a
the
half.
most.
At
At
most,
the
yeah.
most. I would say 2.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2.5, 3 at the most. It's not.
It's
yeah,
not
it's-
a strong cigar.
Not strong at all. No.
It's got a lot of flavor, though.
No, I really expected it to be.
I'm getting just now. I'm 50 cents in. I'm getting a little bit of pepper, but a more of a white pepper than a black pepper or red pepper.
Just a tingle.
Yeah, a little tingle on the tongue. It is very smoky to me. I also get an earthiness of hay, as opposed to like a Honduran, like a dirt earth taste to it. But this one's more
Hay,
hay-ish.
barnyard,
Barnyard, yeah,
without the manure.
correct.
Man and newer. Man newer.
It's two good positive things.
Should've
You're
mentioned
doing
first,
what are you,
it's
Seinfeld references all day today.
Yep.
Boy, we are digging deep in the barrel.
He's been doing Seinfeld references all day.
We didn't talk about pricing on this.
What
Which
is
is-
the price?
It's surprisingly low.
I would think-
MSRP on this, the Toro size, is $7.80.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, his stuff is not. No matter what you get, it's
It's not really
not real expensive. Other than like the limited editions, and even then they're 15 tops, I think.
We're getting a creaminess now through the retro hell, and I'm getting a hint of cherry that you were saying through the retro hell.
retro
Yes,
hell.
yes.
I got the creaminess if you. It sounds weird, but when you lick the top of the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
That's I got the creaminess doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Did I say curious? Creaminess.
I don't know. I'm not listening there.
Not very Christian-like.
It is a good cigar. We used to carry these a long time ago, and then we stopped, and then we brought them
DBL
back.
in general.
Yeah, yeah. His original lines. He named a cigar after me. It was called the Roberto.
I didn't know that was after
yeah,
you.
yeah,
He tells that to all the Roberts.
probably.
First time I met Francisco was in the Oxford Valley store. He came to do a rolling event, and he brought this bottle. It had no label on it. It was full of liquid and what looked like wood chips. And he told me this is something called Mama Juana, and it's a distillate of strange herbs and bark, but it comes out like rum or tequila. It's
Okay.
very, very strong.
Didn't we? That sounds really familiar. I thought we talked about that on the show once. Long time ago.
Probably when we first ever did a DBL on the show.
Maybe.
It may have. I don't don't know, have we done DBL before? We did
A
the
long time
long
ago.
time
I mean,
ago.
we've been
When
doing
it
this
was
for
first-
10
when it
years,
first
so
came out.
maybe. So maybe. Maybe did
I mean, we've been
for
doing
some reason I think Francisco was on the show.
He may have been.
I think we had to sit apart because of his hat is so wide.
My friend.
I love. He's such a cool guy.
He's a store in Red Bank.
Oh my God.
In Red Bank?
I think it's Red Bank.
No.
It's on the
The,
beach somewhere.
the Red Bank store is called Don Francisco. They have a second store in East Brunswick, Don Francisco, and it has nothing to do with Francisco Almonte.
Really?
Yeah, those have been there so much longer than he's been in business. The East Brunswick store has been there about 25 years.
I remember when these cigars first came out. I looked at them, and I'm like, they look like La Flor Dominicana. And if you look at
His label
his
designs,
label
his
design, his box
logos.
designs,
Yep,
it all looks like La Flor Dominicana.
Well,
but
the
that's
big-
where he comes
And then,
from.
and that's what he said. He goes, I used to roll for them.
I
I'm
think
like,
the biggest difference between the DBL and the LFD is that these are good cigars.
Some people
That's
love
not
the
true.
LFD.
I like LFD. They're good cigars. The problem is you can't get them. You can get these. Well,
Sometimes.
sometimes. You can get them more readily than the La Flor. You don't like them, huh?
Would you say lately, with no good excuse, routine cigars have gotten pretty hard to get?
Such as?
Anything. I mean, if you name a cigar today and say how easy is it to
Well,
get some,
we do have a lot of back orders, but not as many as we had when after
I mean, it's
COVID.
not like COVID time,
Right.
but there's no good excuse for it now. Why?
You're not
Some
going
companies, yeah.
You're not going to change my mind on this. Most companies are sending stuff overseas now because the cost of Cuban cigars has skyrocketed. It's like gone up 3-4 times the amount that it used to be.
So
Used to
demand
$20
for non-Cubans worldwide.
Yes, correct. And that's
There
what-
are other reasons.
Cuban cigars
are
were
other
$20.
reasons that we can't
Now they're
discuss.
$80.
We probably shouldn't discuss on the show, but there are other reasons for why they're selling to the European market more and more than here.
Reasons that we can't discuss.
Probably shouldn't. It's nothing illegal, or it's just part of the business that's proprietary. I can tell you later.
Okay. But yeah, that's why I think they're all being shipped overseas. Because they can get more money for them than they get here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And that's exactly what it is.
yeah. So that's why it's a lot of back orders here.
And I'm not just speculating. I mean, this is coming from somebody who owns a cigar company who's telling me this.
So that's why. It's just that's just pain, that's all. But it's not like we have lack of cigars.
No,
I mean, we
no,
have plenty of
not at all.
cigars.
It's,
Yeah,
we have more cigars than pretty much anybody
that's true.
of every kind.
Yes, that is correct.
I think you guys need to go out more.
Oh my God. I like living in my cocoon.
I don't have time to get out more.
Yeah, I don't have time. I'm not like you.
Shirk your responsibilities to
I-
the organization.
I don't shirk my responsibilities.
You do.
I
It's
don't.
a hard thing to do.
I can't do it. It's not like I can just, oh, you work and I'll go somewhere else. I can't do that like you.
Sure you can.
Boy, that was
You
a
just don't.
conversation killer.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
yeah.
Buzzkill.
Why on me?
We're not,
No.
I'm taking the blame?
Yeah.
You're out of your mind?
You are. You should.
I'm trying to think of anybody else that's using Brazilian seed grown in Mexico. Right
I've never
now.
heard of it.
I think I heard of it once, but I think it might have been about this cigar when
DBL?
it first came out.
Yeah, could be.
Because I haven't heard of it anywhere else.
I think this cigar is almost made a 180. I think it's very different than when I first lit it.
Change-ups are good.
Yeah.
All right, let's get our final impression.
Right after our initial impression.
Yeah. Moose, how much has it changed in the last 3 minutes?
I'm getting more pepper.
Are you?
I'm getting a little more pepper.
Okay.
And the initial hickory flavor that I was getting is now changed to cedar.
Okay.
Still burning good, it's well constructed. Give it a 9.
Oh, all right. Paul?
Yeah, I find the hickory is backed off a lot. There is, I agree with Moose, there's a little more pepper. I think it's white pepper, and it's mostly, for me, on the finish. It's not up front. The sweetness is backed off a lot, too. So now what I'm getting is just mostly fundamental tobacco taste. And that's not a bad thing either. I give it a 9 also.
I'm getting more of a
Scott?
more of like tangy. It's got like excuse me. I don't want to use the term sour, but that's tangy's what I'll go with. Tart. Yeah. Okay. Tart. And I think it's very different. I'm not getting any pepper flavor, but I'm getting a little bit of tingling, like it was like you get after some types of pepper, and not like real heavy spice, just that kind of feeling. I give this a 9 as well. And I did want to point out that there are some of the other stuff that he has is the Amarillo.
Right.
Now you want a cigar that it's amazing the flavor you get out of it, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil it, but everybody has said the same thing about when they smoke it, the flavor that they get.
Really?
Yeah, everybody.
I don't
It is
think
a
I've
popular
had the
cigar.
Amarillo.
You had the
popular.
barber pole? We reviewed that on the show
No.
before.
And I wasn't there that day.
Really?
You were probably in the field somewhere.
In the fields.
Outstanding. In the
Paul and the
field.
John.
Which is probably more like it, yeah.
Paul and the John. A new nickname. I like it.
For me, it's changed a lot. I'm getting more of the cherry that you have. Because I'm
Maybe that's the
retrohaling
tart.
it a lot. Yeah, maybe. I'm retrohaling it a lot. And I'm definitely still getting that barnyard, which I really like. It's very tasty. I guess I'll go with everybody else. I'll give it a 9. This is going to be in my rotation of smoking now.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a very, very good cigar.
It's
I really
very
do.
affordable too.
It is very affordable, which I don't care about.
As
Because-
far as ratings.
As far as ratings, yes. But it's inexpensive. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to stop at your brick and mortar stores all over the place, wherever they are. 'Cause
As the weather deteriorates.
we're going to need some places to smoke.
No,
So,
just go to our stores.
just
Yeah.
We got enough of them.
don't forget our pack show, which is coming up in about 5-6 seconds.
Life's too short to smoke cheap cigars.
Ciao for now, everybody.